Burrell and Lewis have met, sparks flew and records fell, but not today with the headwind.
Well, we really got to see Leroy Burrell and his start. He's had a lot of problems, as you mentioned, the last hour and a half. He's just worked on them. In the semifinals, he came out. He's always all over the lane, but in his semifinal heat, he was not only all over his lane, he was in the lane to the right of him.
Carl Lewis, accustomed to starting in the center of the field, where they normally put the fastest qualifiers, in lane 2 here. Dennis Mitchell away quickly, and they call the runners back again. That was a pretty late gun to call him back that time, and I wonder if there was a problem again.
And I would think that Carl Lewis is pretty happy they called that one back. He doesn't normally get a great start, but sometimes a good start. I think he came up very high that time, almost had a hitch in his start, 4 or 5 meters down the track.
Let's see if it's another equipment problem, or whether this will be a charged false start. Here's the start of Carl Lewis you were mentioning, O.J.
If you can see him in relationships to the other guys, head down pretty well. But he kind of came up a lot sooner than he wanted to. He's a tall man, so he always comes up high. He's not going to come out up as low as most of the runners. As you can see, Dennis on his left of your screen, Dennis Mitchell had obviously a better start. He figures to have a better start and to be leading at about 40 meters.
And a false start has been charged to Leroy Burrell.
Oof.
Leroy Burrell in lane 4, as we mentioned, has been working on his starts constantly and is charged with a false start there. Now, what does that do to his start of the race?
Well, obviously, he's had some mental problems. We're talking about Jackie Joyner-Kersee and her mental problems coming off the turn in the 200 meters. We know Leroy Burrell has not been getting out of the blocks. He's been struggling here in his earlier races. As we mentioned, he spent the last hour and a half working on his start.
He'll have to be cautious here now. One more false start, and he's disqualified.
#1 sprinter, ranked sprinter in the world the last 2 years, and there's some concern about him making this team.
Before they were called back, Mitchell looked to be out very well. This is a fair start, and it is Dennis Mitchell. Witherspoon is there, and Marsh on the outside. Mitchell in front. Here comes Burrell and Witherspoon at the line. Too close to call. It might have been Witherspoon with Burrell and Mitchell. Did Carl Lewis not make it? Did Carl Lewis not make it in the top 3? Carl Lewis, the world's fastest human, will not be going to Barcelona to compete in the Open 100.
It just wasn't there for Carl. We noticed in the semifinal meet he did not have any pickup at 70 meters. I thought it was because he was saving it. He was cruising. He came out of the blocks. He didn't have a particularly good start. I noticed that in the first false start, but I never expected Carl to be the one not to make this final. Look at the first race. Dennis Mitchell, you see in lane 3 to the right, 3 from the right of your screen. We expected him to be out there. Witherspoon in the middle of the screen has been running well all year. The man we knew was having some problem, Burrell, there you see him in second place, but Witherspoon was able to get by Burrell here.
Very tight finish.
Actually, you can see Burrell's work at leaning at the tape may have gotten him second place because Witherspoon started his lean a little early.
Leroy Burrell, who had false started and had struggled throughout this competition, qualifying for the team with Witherspoon and Mitchell. And Mike Marsh, the hot sprinter of the spring, will not make it. But the news is Carl Lewis, well back here. He is in lane 2.
And Carl knew he was in trouble early. Look at him. He's turning his head. He's looking across the track to see where he is. Now, that's something you can do in an early race. You can do that in a trial. You can do that in the quarterfinal. You don't do it in the final.
Thanks a lot, Carl. Tom? All right, Todd, here is Carl Lewis isolated from lane 2.
I mean, not a bad start. Came up, well, he always comes up high early. But he's up high early. But here's the thing that surprises me. Now, Carl is a guy that normally will start accelerating here. Very few sprinters can accelerate at that point after 50 meters. He realized he was in trouble. He looked across the track. The other surprise is the hottest sprinter in the world today, Mike Marsh, also didn't finish in the top 3.
So the dream of Carl Lewis of repeating his 4 gold medal performance from Los Angeles up in flames after this performance. We'll be back.